No, people think they heard it wrong, so now I have to say Coke like the soda, because they always think they heard it wrong. And they're like, wait, what? You can certainly come in and sit on the right hand side. Most of the message will be delivered here shortly.
Thank you.
Oh, so oh, that's fine. Did she send you how to pronounce the app, that app? That's best. So it's not supposed as best. You're reading that one. Okay, no, we already know that. All right, after choose. Okay. Yes.
Shall we begin? If you haven't turned off your cell phone, would you do that or silence it? Thank you. I'll do it too. We gather here to remember little things that made a special place in our heart. To remember those happy times when there was laughter and those times when hearts broke. For who could put a price on memories? We gather to share the pain, to hurt with those who hurt, without presuming that our pain is the same. To cry with those who cry and not to try to hide or avoid the tears. For tears are like memory in motion. We gather to give the gift of grief. To stand beside you in silence and not be uncomfortable with your tears. To allow you the gift of mourning, the mourning of this loss, and yet not lose patience. For grief's nature's way of healing a broken heart. My name is Jim Fly. I serve as a Protestant chaplain for the Young's Daughters Funeral Home. Please let me express gratitude for your presence. The journey of grief is long, and those who walk it should not have to walk it alone. Your presence helps communicate to others that Raymond's living and dying have made an impact. So we are grateful for your presence. Regardless of your religious heritage, I would invite you to listen to a chaplain's prayer. Dear Lord, we are here to remember and celebrate the life of Raymond David Rimmer. It is our hope that every part of this service will honor a life lived among us. It is our hope that each person affected by Ray's passing will know that they are in our thoughts because of his loss. It is our hope that in meaningful ways we can help each other face the journey of grief. Dear Lord, this is my prayer that I can offer because of the mercy of Christ. Amen.
Excuse me, we have a guest in the audience. I'm so sorry to interrupt, if they can't hear through the microphone. Somebody give you a secondary mic. We're going to see if you can use this one, but they're having a tough time. It's every other couple of words are coming in.
Okay.
So I'm going to mute this one.
Okay, we'll proceed with this one. At times like this, it's customary to include biblical quotations, and I will honor that custom now. As I was preparing for this service, a set of instructions came to mind from the New Testament in the book of Hebrews, the 13th chapter. Somehow it felt like Ray might approve of these sentiments. Let mutual love continue. Do not neglect to show hospitality. Remember those who are in prison and those who are being tortured. Keep your lives from the love of money. The Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can anyone do to me? And this is a quote from the 13th chapter of the book of Hebrews in the New Testament. We conspired a little bit regarding the music. There are various ways music can be done at a funeral time. During today's service, 3 songs have been selected that relate to Ray's background and interests. Many of you know this. Ray was a first-chair cello player in high school. We will now hear one of the most famous cello pieces that Ray would likely have played as a good cellist. You may know Canon in D by Pachelbel. Sometimes Pachelbel's Canon in D is considered a wedding tune. He did not write it that way. In reality, it can also be played at a funeral. So I'm going to sit down, and for the next few minutes, we will hear the Pachelbel Canon played on the cello with a piano accompaniment. Do you know what that is? People signing into Zoom. They'll sort it out. This particular recording was done in a parking garage because it had great acoustics. So imagine an empty parking garage with a grand piano, a folding chair on which sits a cello player. And now we'll hear the Pachelbel Canon that Ray may have played. It's an important day. It's an important day when we gather together to honor a life and mourn a death. Time stands still for just a moment as we acknowledge that someone has touched our lives, has left an imprint on our hearts, and our souls are eternally changed. Mr. Raymond David Rimmer died Thursday, January 5th, 2023, at his home residence. Ray was born on July 31st, 1970, to Lily G. Carlisle and Lewis M. Rimmer in Cleveland, Ohio, but moved to Florida at a young age with his mother and two older brothers. others. During high school, he played the cello and enjoyed participating in the track team as a sprinter. After leaving high school, he worked at various jobs before moving to New Jersey, where he enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1995. Initially, he served as a utilities equipment repair. Soon after, he changed to be a biomedical equipment technician. During his service, Ray was stationed at several different places, including 3 tours in Germany, a posting at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, service at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio, and service at Fort Hood. Ray's deployments included Iraq, Kosovo, Soviet Georgia, and others. He had traveled extensively while stationed in Germany. This included places like the Canary Islands, Portugal, and Greece. Following retirement, he continued traveling with trips to places such as the Cayman Islands, Ireland, and Finland. Ray cared deeply about the future of this country. He was passionate about ensuring fellow soldiers were treated fairly, and he devoted himself to motorcycle safety and was relied on as a motorcycle safety mentor. After serving for 20 years in the United States Army, Ray retired as a sergeant in 2015. Ray enjoyed playing all kinds of games, including video games and tabletop games, and in Germany, he even played rugby. And he enjoyed listening to a wide variety of music, as well as reading, watching movies, sports, and TV shows. He had a voracious appetite for learning new things and had amazing memory for quoting movie lines. After retiring, Ray could be found streaming online with friends or being involved with various online communities where he was always quick to be welcoming, to share a joke, and he had been known to drop some knowledge, and I'm going to want to know more about that later. Survivors include his girlfriend of 10 years, Leslie, one son, Raymond Jr., one daughter, Sharon, who is with us today together with her husband and her mother, Helly. Other survivors include various friends, along with travel dogs, Aaron Arch and Jesse Ring. His inner circle included Jason Young, Brian Lewis, Eric von Unland, Marcus Stevens, Michael Van Holst, William Van Holst, Wesley M. Schaefer, and Brian McCullough. And 2 moms, Brenda Scott and Lucy Jackson. I want to give you an invitation to speak for a couple of minutes if you choose, either in testimony or in memory of something about Raymond. Now, please keep your testimony to 2 minutes if you can. I will come to you and hand you the microphone. All you need to do is stand and I will come to you. Who would like to start?
Thanks. Whoever's on Zoom, if you use your mics, that'd be great. Okay, thanks. I want to thank everybody for coming dressed in black, as we all know is Ray's favorite color, so I'm sure he'd appreciate you all showing up as such. I knew Ray, met him when I was 14, a skinny little kid that used to walk around with a Metallica t-shirt, a baseball cap, and his ever-present Walkman and headphones. Very shy kid, very fast kid, was not really someone you probably would recognize today. The person that you guys now know and love that he grew into, full of charisma, full of life, full of just basically people wanted to be around him, wanted to be part of his world. He is just one of those people that you just gravitated towards, and I'm very grateful to be part of his life and be part of his friendship. I want to thank everybody here for coming and recognizing the contributions that he made to everybody's life.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, okay, I'll start over. And just let you know that I want you all to just please keep Ray in your hearts and your minds, and just remember the joy that he brought to everybody and the joy he tried to bring to the world. And that's, I think, is the best way we can remember is by sharing that love and sharing that joy that he offered to everyone else.
Who would like to speak next?
So I don't have any nice fancy prepared speech or anything, but Ray's been a close friend for a long, long time now. Hung out all the time at a local game store and just enjoyed playing cards. He was always very welcoming and always had, a fun conversation ready for you whenever you came in, and was always doing something new and exploring all sorts of really, really cool stuff. And it was great to know him. And yeah, it's really surprising. Just, I don't know. For everyone here, as Brian said, thank you for coming, and just, wish you all the best.
Someone else?
Oh, okay. Oh. So I know there were a lot of, can you hear me okay? Sorry? Okay, I know there were a lot of people who wanted to be here that couldn't for whatever reason. And when Mr. Fry said that he was going to open it up for people to give tributes or testimony or whatever, I know that a lot of people who wanted to be here couldn't. So I sent an email out to everybody in Sunder if they wanted to send something. So I have 4 here and I have 2 others, and I may have to get you 2 to come read yours while I go find them. So the first one is from, Norbert Clements. Even though we are so far apart, you are with me in my heart. We had so much laughs together, and I still smile when I think of you. Thank you for the time I was allowed to spend with you. I wish you all the best up there, my friend. The next one is from Larry Smith, U.S. Navy retired. It was 2008 at LRMC where I would meet my brother Ray. I was a Navy technician sent to support medical operations and quickly became friends with him because I discovered that we both said how we felt about everything, and we were pretty much free spirits. Our bond became more cemented when Ray arrived to the BMET shop one morning with puff pastries. Now, if you know Ray, you know he doesn't enter the room quietly because his energy alone attracts attention. So he had about 4 brochin, or chocolate-filled puff pastries, and I hear, "Smitty, you want a brochin?" I said, "What the?" I am sorry, I'm in the house of God. Fuck. Here's a brochin. He laughs, and then explains as only Ray could. There were many hilarious conversations and crazy moments, like the time we got wasted in Spain. I'm sure my brother has God cracking up and face-palming daily. Till Valhalla, battle, wah. Larry Smith, U.S. Navy retired. This next one is from David Smoke. I am sorry for your loss. We worked together in Germany from 2008 to 2010, and there were some tough days we shared in the shop, but Ray always had that smile on his face that I am sure you will always remember. I totally agree with the obituary that Ray was smart, had a bright spirit, and loved mentoring the younger soldiers. I remember he had a slightly nerdy side, which most of us BMETs did, and how much he loved to travel. He came into my office several times to talk, and sometimes I thought he was trying to mentor me. LOL. I lose few friends every year now, it seems. I was so shocked and saddened to hear about Ray. Peace to you and for him always. Okay, from Jose Raimundo. I'm sorry for your loss. This one hurts me a lot. Rimmer and I were stationed in Germany in 2008. I agree with the obituary. He was passionate about motorcycle safety, traveling, and taking care of soldiers. There was not a single day that I see him walking in the hallway with his little tool bag, with a big smile and saying, "Hey, Raimundo, how is it going?" He used to share his traveling plans, and he was one of the main motorcycle safety drivers at LRMC at that time. The loss really hit me. Rimmer was a great person and an excellent friend. R.I.P., my dear friend. Cheers. Hasta el suelo. Cielo.
You're welcome.
Okay, this is his friend Jason. Hello, everyone. My name is Jason. Unlike most of you that have been around Ray recently, I knew him from age 14 to 22 before he joined the military. We kept in touch on our birthdays every year. Mine was July 30th, his was July 31st. He was 364 days older than me. We grew up in South Florida in a little city outside of Fort Lauderdale called Oakland Park. We met at a small mall. I worked at Movie City 10, the movie theater there, and he hung out in the game room. We were the mall rats of the 80s. There we built a friend group, spending all of our free time together, from arcades to concerts to Dungeons and Dragons. Ray was a great friend and was my asbestos buddy, according to him back in the day. I'm not sure how that saying came about, but it stuck, and even to the last conversation I had with him. He was a lover of music, volleyball, role-play games, and chilling with friends. We joined volleyball teams with others in our circle. He definitely had the height and physique for the spiker. From midnight bowling to road trips to late night parties, we did it all, even just sitting and discussing life. He was a very smart, supportive, energetic, funny, and my best friend in that time that I needed one. I could not imagine my youth without him. I love you, Ray, and hope to see you again in heaven, my asbestos buddy.
Morning, everyone.
You'll make me cry. So I gotta have to. So this one's from Tommy Martin. Thank you all for this. I am sorry that I can't be there in person. I don't really know what I would say other than Rimmer was a great friend, and we went on some pretty epic adventures together. There was one year we made a last-minute decision to jump the train to Paris for New Year's Eve. We ended up in this little tavern along Champs-Élysées, and when we went outside right after midnight, the street was full of people celebrating. The look on his face was one for the books. He was always such a serious guy, but you could tell right then he was a good dude. I'm glad our paths crossed when they did. And the last one I have to read is from Brian Lewis. It is such a challenge to attempt an encapsulation of a friendship. Ray was a truly divine gift. My childhood experiences had left me as a teenager trying to hide from the world, and Ray would have none of it. Though his tenacity often pushed people away, he let me in. If you couldn't see his perspective, he would just walk and take his entourage with him. He had a way of making it difficult to say no, but in this, he dragged out the best in people. I've seen it in others and in me. Today, I am an outspoken guy. I don't shy away from a challenge, and I am known to be quite vocal about my opinions. If not for Ray's impact in my life, I don't know that I could have found that voice. Our tales of triumph and those of legend and lore, they will be told for generations, but these I will leave for late evenings. I with bourbon and he, well, in those days it was vodka. I just wish we were together to reminisce on those days that made us men. There is a divine plan. Ray learned this, and my creator blessed me with Ray's friendship. I miss you, man, and I know we will meet again. See you there. Zep 1, Side 1, Song 1, your brother, the Aryan Dog.
Okay. All right, this is from Aaron Arch. To my dear friend and brother Ray. I remember hearing about Sergeant Rimmer months before your arrival. Several soldiers from the hospital and BAMC were eagerly awaiting your arrival at the hospital in Germany. It didn't take long to understand why. Your personality was infectious, and you always knew how to make us laugh. Even the most hard-nosed, cold people couldn't help but smile when they saw you coming. I thoroughly missed the great times. Whether it was passing out on your people-eating chair after getting the itis from a mixed grill plate at the New York Diner in Landstuhl, or riding across Fuerteventura in the Canary Islands on ATVs, or taking the ferry from Lisbon to Cascais in Portugal to see Bocas do Inferno, you will always be my #1 roadie. You possess the rare gift of teaching without saying a word. Even in the abrupt way you left us, you taught me the importance of making time for those who matter to you. Unfortunately, I learned that lesson from you the hard way, when it was too late for us. But since you passed, I've reconnected with some people in my family, several of them. Another debt of gratitude I owe to you and can never repay. You taught me the importance of humor and how it is such a powerful tool of unity. Some of my favorite jokes are, if you and your friend are being chased by a king cheetah, you have but one choice. Trip your friend. When it comes time to pay, the waitress asked us, separate or together? You replied, we're just friends. It crosses all lines and brings us together, something we desperately need in the US. You taught me the importance of hospitality and giving. Your door was always open. You took me into your home following a bad snowstorm in Germany that prevented me from going home. 2 days ended up being 30, and you made me feel like family. When I arrived in Killeen, Texas from Germany, knowing I'd be in Afghanistan less than 3 months after arriving, once again, you opened your door to me without expectation or reservation. You did this for so many others throughout your life. Perhaps above all, you taught me the importance of taking care of people. Someone once said, people don't care what you know until they know you care. You epitomized that effortlessly. You fought fearlessly for your soldiers daily, even if it was unpopular or landed you in hot water. It's as if they were your biological children and someone was trying to harm them. One thing is for sure, you showed a generation of soldiers, seniors, peers, and juniors how to care for and respect one another, not as soldiers, but as human beings, as unique creations, none superior to the next. We'll probably never know how many lives you've changed, let alone saved. The number of lives you positively impacted cannot be understated. It is evident in the outpouring of support I received from just a few of those you've touched. I'd like to take this time to acknowledge and thank all of our brothers and sisters, including those of us who were not able to physically attend. Fortunately, I know you won't hold that against us, because that's just the kind of man you were. With love, respect, and adoration, I bid you farewell, brother. Fidem, faith, familia, family, libertas, freedom.
Thank you. That was impressive. Appreciate that greatly. As many of you know, the Army Goes Rolling Along is the official Army song. You may also know it used to be known as the caissons go rolling along, but not everyone remembers or ever knew what a caisson is. I might just remind those who don't know, caisson was a wheeled cart used by the Army to carry ammunition and supplies and some other matters. It seems appropriate that in honoring a U.S. Army Sergeant Retired, that we stand while this song plays. Would you stand with me?
We are heroes holding the law.
In learning about Raymond, I got the impression he may have been a real character, with a spirit that made a difference and a will to continue to do so as long as each of you remember him in your hearts and carry the lessons that you learned from him. I understand that he was also known as Ellinger. There's another story I need to hear. My own soul jumped a little when I learned that Ray had been a biomed tech. That is a career field I served in for 18 years. The people in that career field are relied on to keep essential medical equipment in good repair so that every patient, every time, receives the most accurate diagnosis and the best possible care. And he devoted himself to that, as evident. It's a field that is usually behind the scenes, usually performed by people who are passionate about helping others. Sounds like he got in the right career field. You are now the representatives and the ambassadors of Ray's legacy. He showed how to live with challenges and struggles and how to survive. While not every moment was easy and not every memory etched in gold, in the final analysis, Ray gave all he had to offer. You are his future and his memories. My own suggestion is to be kind and patient with one another and allow each other to experience grief in the way that fits them best. For me, a quote from Washington Irving is appropriate. There is a sadness in tears. They are not the mark of weakness, but power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. They are messengers of overwhelming grief and unspeakable love. Accept your tears and expressions of loss. Accept the angels in human form who come along with a word or a hug or a memory to share. Help each other during those difficult times when you will miss him most. There is a third song, about 3 minutes long. This is by Lindsey Sterling. It's entitled Elements, and I believe it's a song that Ray would have liked to have us hear. I want to tell you that we received a certificate here at the funeral home. It's from the Arbor Day Foundation, which is a foundation that you probably know of that, among other things, plants trees in honor of persons. It's entitled Certificate of Tree Planting in Loving Memory of Raymond Rimmer. A group of 5 memorial trees has been planted in a forest in need. And this is signed by Kimberly Makarainen. Thank you. And family. Also signed by Tapio and Ina, Risto and Mara, Lynn Rowan and Herbert Green. May he rest in peace and be remembered as the great man he was. I would like to share a blessing as we conclude. I trust that something heard or done here today will have been a blessing to you. As we finish our service in this place of caring, the offering of a final blessing seems in order. May you go forward today with a small flickering of light in your soul. May the memories of your beloved one begin to bring comfort rather than pain. May the words, the touch, and the presence of others bring solace. May you be blessed in your coming and in your going, grateful for a life lived and a legacy left behind. May you go in peace.
They do request us to be about 15 minutes early, so as you make your way to these safely, you can fellowship here for a little while as you'd like, and reconvene at
Recording stopped.